In this video, I will go through the front page of UFF.dk to understand how it has been built up. It consists of 8 different items. The top menu, the banner, the main menu, you have a slideshow with some text, you have a 4-button menu on the left side, you have an event calendar, there is an advertisement for the Hope Avis, and then you have Siste Nytt, the last news. And I will also go through 2 small things that is good to know, something called article ID and something how you do the backup of your site before you do any major changes in case you do something wrong, but also periodically in case your website goes down, it's easy to restore it. The top menu is what you find here at the top. Everything that has to do with menus and building menus, you have to go to the back side and you have it under menus. We have the top menu down here, and as you see, it corresponds with the same descriptions as you see up here. So if I, for example, removed unpublished the FAQ, straight away, if I refreshed it, it's gone. I go back and I publish, and it's back. That is your top menu. Then you have the banner. Banner is basically your logo. It's all this. It's one big picture. To find where it is, you have to go into extension modules. You have something called a logo. It's here. If you open it, you see exactly the same picture here that has been added. So this you seldom have to change. This banner is not only shown on the front page, it's basically shown on all the pages. Here you have some options to select which pages they should be shown at and which they should not be shown at. But as it is the banner, we have said that it should be shown on all the pages. That's the reason why they are all ticked off. Main menu. Again, menus you find over here. Main menu is here. And this shows you the whole menu, the first level, and then you have some sub levels, and here you have some sub levels. Again, top level, sub menu, subs. So this is where you add new items to your top menu, or if you have some spelling mistakes here or want to change the titles, you can basically just click on them, change the text up here, and if you wanted to link to another articles, this is where you do it. But we do not cover that in this video. So that is your top menu, and this is where you will find it. Slideshow. Again, this is a module. Extension, modules. Scroll down, you find the slideshow. At the moment, you have 3 slides, and the title for each slide you find here. This is the same title you find up here. So these are the headlines for the 3 slides. If you make a 4th slide, you enter the 4th title down here. Then we have to go to image settings. And for image 1, this is where the image for the first slide is found. This is the link that opens when you click on any slideshow. Like if you click here, it will open the link that you can see at the bottom of the page now, and that I have put in here. Then for the first slide you have this text. That's the text that you will find down here. So if you have any spelling mistakes or want to change the text in any of the 3 existing slides, this is where you do it, under Image Settings in the module called Slideshow. If you wanted to add a 4th slide, you basically copy this one, you upload another picture, call it something else, put in the link to the article it should open, and you put the text down here for what should be displayed on the slide. We also don't cover this in detail in this video. It's basically just a walkthrough. So that's what the slideshow. Then we have a 4-button menu on the left side, and I am referring to the one you see down here. It's basically just 4 pictures with each linking to an article. Again, we are in extension, we are in modules. This is what we see. We go down and we find something called See the menu for Hidden left side menu front page. If I open this one, here I see the 4 pictures, and each of the pictures is linking to an article. Very seldom you have to go in here. It's basically only if you want to change where it's linking to. Event calendar is also on the front page. You have 3 events at the moment. So where do we add the events? You go into components, because this is an application. Or before I go in here, I will show you something within the extension modules, because modules is what you see, and you do have something called a calendar here. But this is not where you add the events. This is where you configure how it should look like. It should take events in a category called UFF Humana calendar. I will come back to that. We have also said that it should show maximum 5 events. Actually, this should be 3. So I will just save that straight away, because as you see, there is no space for more than 3. If we add a 4th, this hope will move so far down and it will leave a lot of blank space under the news. So always the 3 last. That's how it has been set up. It only did show 3 anyway, because I only had 3 events. It will show events up to 360 days ahead of today, which is good. If you put this to 30 days, it will only show event within this month. And you have a lot of additional settings. So this is the module where you decide how it should be displayed on the front page. But where do you add the events? That you do within the components, J-events. This is an application. Here you can see the events that you have already. You have 2. It doesn't show the 3rd because I said hide past event. I can put this to no, and then I will see events that has already passed, but that's not so relevant, so I will put yes. These are the 2 events. I could add a new one and give it a name. Insamlingsday, and this is the category. I've only made 1 category, so they will by default go into that calendar, so you shouldn't worry about that. Calendar is where you put that is a whole day event, so you don't have to put time on it. It starts 29th of September and it finishes the same day, and I save. If I now go in here and refresh, I will see that this first disappears, and now the new event has been added to the list. I will just say save and close to close it, and then I will just delete it. There will come another video later more in details about the event. So if I now refresh it, the last one should disappear and we should be back to how it was originally. That is your event calendar. And then we have the Hope Avis. That's the one you see down here in the right corner. It's basically just an advertisement for people to click on. Again, extension, modules, and we go down to Hope Avisen. It's basically just a little screenshot. If I click on it and click on the image icon, I can also see the size that it should be, 249 times 166. So if you have a new Hope newspaper, you make a little screenshot and make it this side, and you just upload it to your website and mark it. Then when you have the new picture, you mark it and you add a link to the TCE newsletters. Again, this is just a quick walkthrough so you have a brief understanding on how it actually works. Now we are missing one thing, and that is the last news. That's what you see here in the main window, and it has been set up to show you 2 news at any time, and they will be shown randomly from all the news that you have added. If I refresh the page, you will see that it shows different news every time you load. There are different ways to set it up. This has a limitation of only showing 2. You can also select 2 specific articles, and I'll show you very briefly how you set up this front page news. Before I do that, I want to talk about article ID, because this is important if you want to select specific news to be shown instead of randomly all the latest. I go back and I go to content and articles. This will show you all the articles that you have. Every article has an ID, and if you want to define which news it should show, you need to note down the ID of the articles you want to show. At the moment, I have narrowed it down to only show the category Nyheter. So everything that is saved within this category is considered news. So it will take 2 of these ones. If I want to, for example, display only 449 and 447, I note it down 449, 447, because I want to display only those 2. And then I go back to extension, modules, as always, when it is about your front page setup. So now I have to find Sisternytt. That's this one here, news on the front page. I will open it, and here you have some different settings for this news module. If you go to basic options, this will here say go into the folder Nyheter and take 2 Nyheter and show them. And it should be random order. You can say most read, you can say most commented, latest, you can do a lot of different things, but at the moment it's set as random. If you want to select exactly which 2 news it should show, you click on articles, and then you write in the ID of the 2 articles that you want to be shown on the front page. So if I save this now, instead of showing the whole 2 random one from the category or the 2 latest ones, it will show specifically those 2. As you see here, no matter how many times I reload it, it will show those 2 news on the front page. At the moment, I will put it back to categories and say that it should look randomly. So this is where you play around with the settings on how the front module should display the news. So that was a little bit about article ID. You only need it if you really want to define which 2 news it should show. If you're happy to take the 2 latest ones or random ones from a folder, you don't need to focus about this one. The last thing I want to show is backup. Every time you do changes to your website, or if you do something you're not sure about, take a backup before. And also periodically take a backup of your website in case something goes wrong. Under components, I keep a backup. This is the backup application. All you have to do is to say backup now. Don't have to do anything else, and you click backup now. This will normally run from anything from 2 to 10 minutes. I will just pause the video now. Then the backup has completed. You can always click on the manage backup to see the backups that you have, and this will see that I have 3 backups now. These ones are too old, and it will show you the date when they have been taken. So at any point I can actually roll back to any of these backups, but that's something that we will do. As long as you take the backup, we can restore it with a couple of clicks to a version that was okay. That was a quick walkthrough of the front page on your website, and there will come more videos that will focus more on individual things, that adding news, adding PDF files, articles and so on to your website. Okay, hope you enjoy that, and see you in the next video.